Once again, I didn't give myself enough time to start the live stream. I had forgotten to go out and get the T-nuts until right before the show started. I went out and got some, but I didn't have enough time to install them because you got to drill a bigger hole, hammer them in there, blah blah blah. But we got the T-nuts to make the crane work better. But in the meantime, we'll just rough it because that's what we do here. We have Daniel Davis and John Nave. Appreciate y'all joining us. And I'm not being held for review yet. But let's get the camera. Well, let me feed the belly through the pilot hole, and then we'll get rolling. And then I'll adjust the camera. Get my precious Dr. Pepper out of the way, and I already bumped the camera, of course, because that would be how things go around here. Hello, Florence. Okay, let me get set up here. Are we having fun yet? Now, I would have been back sooner and more prepared if I had known that the place or the Ace Hardware here in Gatesville moved, and I didn't know they moved. So I had to track them down. And then we had to locate the T-nuts. They didn't have as many as I needed for all my cranes, but I only need them enough for one crane. So, and it's freezing cold here in the shop because that's how we roll. And make sure I'm plugged in here. And I just saw that I had forgotten to drill that pilot hole, and I still haven't drilled it because that would be way too organized. Hello, Mr. Mac Pierce. He's only here for a bit, so he's teasing us. But I think to make it look more completed, I'm going to move around some of these other riders and cut out the large shadow areas of the horses, and we'll deceive people, make them think we got more done than we do, but don't tell them. So there's that. I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here. Okay, let's get over here and get one of these big old cuts going. That wasn't the pilot holes I was looking for, but I found a pilot hole pretty quickly, but it wasn't the one I was needing. Just saying. Now that I'm trying to find a specific one, it's nowhere to be found. Come on, give me the right pilot hole. It's a good start, I'm telling you. $50,000 pilot holes on this thing, and I can't find the one I'm aiming for. I found one, but I'm pretty sure it's not the one I want. No, I didn't even find one, did I? Good Lord on a stick. This is a heck of a start. I'm going to end up breaking this blade just trying to find the stupid pilot hole. One of y'all cursed me. I think it was Max, since he's not sticking around. He just wanted to curse me and then leave. Well, screw it. I'll just go ahead and do the eye, and then we'll do the next big pilot hole, because I found a pilot hole. I'm just going to go with it. I can barely feel my fingers. And hello, Herb. All is, for the most part, well, I would imagine. Let's see how many times we can get the clamp to fall off while I'm trying to set the camera. Well, it stayed. I'll be dang. But I may go a little higher up. And reset the clamp, of course. And hopefully by the next live stream, I'll have the T-nuts installed. We won't have to worry about the stupid clamps and the stupid crane and finding the stupid pilot holes. Hello, Lawrence Aldridge. And it's going to move regardless because that would be, good God. One of y'all cursed me this morning, I think. That's got to be what it is. Because I'm clamping the heck out of this crap and it's still not clamping. Okay, I'll put y'all in dark for a second and I'll close this clamp a little more and we'll make it stronger. You didn't expect this to go smoothly, did you? Come on now. Y'all been here before. All right. Yeah, that's what happens if you close the clamp a little more. It works a little better, by God. So get a little higher up and shows more of the cutting. Yeah, it probably was Josh, wasn't it, Mac? Okay. I should have gotten a heater before I started, but there's a lot of stuff I should have done before I got going. But we're here. What cut I'm working on right now is just the eyeball. All right, hopefully I can find the next pilot hole rather quickly. Remains to be seen. Yay, I think I found it. Yeah, I did. I knew I could do it. I never doubted it. Yeah, I did. I can't even lie. The problem of when I'm not doing daily live feeds is all these calluses and stuff. They heal up, and then I reopen them when I do a live feed. But I'm a rugged, manly man, so we'll do that. Hello, Kim McCrory. Let me take a swig of my Dr. Pepper. Now, I'm not being mysterious that the label just was all ripped up, so I threw it off there. Like it's a mystery what I'm into. Come on now. Okay. Let's get going. I don't know why y'all didn't let me put a heater next to me before I got going. I still might wuss out and do it at some point during the live feed, and I'll be right back. I gotta go get the heater. Okay, here we go. And this piece is 2 feet tall by 3 feet 1 inch wide. 1/4 inch maple, number 5 flat inches spiral blade. And the saw I'm using is a Hagner. That might eliminate some questions. We are making 2 of them. Not that I'm opposed to questions. I just figured if I can throw the answers out there before the questions get there, we're done. This is another one of those cuts where the capacity of the saw is 22 inches and this piece is 24 inches, so I won't be able to reach it from this angle. For lack of a better way of saying it, when it's too hot or too cold, it just takes the fun out of being in the shop, but could be worse. I'm also very close to sneezing. I'm going to stop for a second because I'm about to sneeze. I think. No, it went away. I apologize if I'm sniffing in y'all's ear, but I don't know it's coming until it gets here. And we're going to want to save this waste piece because this area I'm about to cut out is going to want to break if I don't. You put the large waste pieces back in place to use an orbital sander, and it'll keep those pieces from breaking, or at least minimize the chances. Out of habit, I keep turning my head to sniff, so I don't get it on mic, but then I keep forgetting I have a mouth mic, and it follows me wherever I turn my head, so that's the thought that counts. And thank you to those that shared the sales post I had earlier on the horse in the water. If I recall, that was my last project video. It wasn't a live stream, but yeah. And after this cut, I'll see if there's any comments or questions. But with nobody else here, I have to look between cuts. Having trouble steering because the piece is so large. Trying not to cramp my fingers while I'm steering. Hoping I don't block the camera while I do this. Almost there. Alrighty then. Whew. Let me catch up on the comments here. Well, I missed a whole bunch, didn't I? There's a bunch of hellos. Hello to everybody. Herb Pooper says, yeah, you need to get your heater 36 degrees. I'm not even sure if it's that warm here yet. John Nave says it's 15 degrees there, 25 where Mac is, so we have no room to complain technically. Y'all definitely keep those temperatures. Ken McCrory says 60 there. That's what I'd prefer to have. David Joanne Arrington says, hello, Charles. Enjoy watching you. I appreciate you being here and appreciate the kind words. Florence Fullen says, how many cuts can you do before a blade gets dull? It depends on how hard I'm pushing the blade. I wish I could be more specific. It depends on if you're stack cutting or doing thick wood and how fast you're cutting, little stuff like that. Okay. Jameson Shoots says, hello, Charles, and hello right back at you. How fast do you run your saw when you use ferrule blades? All I use is spirals, and I always use the saw all the way up. I guess it's a confidence thing once you get confident, but the saw in particular goes up to 1700 RPM, but you can turn it all the way down, and it's practically off. That's the lowest setting. I'll leave that going while I'm reading the rest of the comments. And Jameson Shoots says, how do you cut a straight line with a spiral blade? Very carefully. I don't know how to give you a more detailed answer than that. And Wooden Vision, Harnell Media has posted a link to the shop on woodenvisions.com. Appreciate you, Steve Nealon. And appreciate you being here. Hellos. Billy R. Ellis, good friend of mine, says, good to see you, Charles. Always amazed at your work. Just wanted to say howdy before I go to the shop. I think it's warm enough now. Haha. Have a great day, buddy. You too, sir. All right, I'm going to turn this back up so that the upper arm looks like it's waving. But we've already cut that cut out, so it'd be silly. Now, the reason why we're keeping this waste piece is because of this little brittle piece right here. By keeping the waste pieces when you're sanding, it can vibrate all kinds of ways. It may not even break without the waste piece there, but all these areas can vibrate and break. But with the waste pieces in there, then it has a lot less room to move when you're using a palm sander or orbital sander, whatever you want to call it. It gives it a lot more surface area for that sander to go across. So that is why you want to save the waste pieces in the large areas or whatever areas you're afraid of breaking. Now, I've gone way in too long without a sip of Dr. Pepper, and that is a sin. But I do think I'm very close to getting my heater in here. I'm going to go do that. So since y'all are used to me delaying anyways, I'm gonna run grab a heater, and I'll be right back. Y'all behave. this is going to feel so good. As soon as it gets heated up. And I got to get all my tangled cords and don't want those to be laying on top of the heater because that'll probably melt them. And we don't want that. Whew. James and Shoot says, I just finished a pattern I called Honoring the Angel Flight. Used Sparrow Blade to cut the aircraft and flares. It was just challenging for me. I reverted back to flat blades for the lettering. Well, whatever works for you. And yeah, Sparrow Blades upset a lot of people and scare a lot of people. But once you get used to them, I know I don't need to tell you that because you're clearly trying them, and that's awesome. Y'all bear with me while I tuck some cords in my pocket so that they don't hang over the heater. My jacket pocket, that is. Well, finally got rid of the rain, and then the dang cold came. Dag blabbit. Says Delta Saw only has high and low speed. I use low for the pictures. Yeah, it's definitely a comfort level. Yeah, I can only speak for me, but the reason why I do them all the way up is if I go slow, it just makes me cut slower. And I know that's a big duh, but if I'm going to make a mistake, I'll just be making it slower. Oh. Okay, so we got that big cut done. I'm going to look for other large cuts to get. I don't know if it'll reduce the weight too much, but let me go ahead and pick and choose. I guess I can go ahead and do the heads of everybody and the larger cuts. Some of these further away cuts that are just out of view of the camera have larger cuts in them, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the hats and faces of everybody, which in some cases are the same piece of detail. It's not the cut I wanted, or the pilot hole. Which is silly when I'd say that because they all got to be cut anyway, but yeah, I'm just picky. Come on, heater, get me warm. It would help to turn the heater on. I just kind of figured that out. I'm so used to having it the other direction in my office that it messed me up having it backwards. Okay, I had it all the way off instead of all the way on. I'm good. I have one of those radiator type heaters. And the roosters apparently are cold too. And Jameson Sheet says, that's my second pattern that I've used spirals. And the first picture I had to use a spiral because the pattern was too big for my table. Yeah, that's most of my patterns are like that. But there are people that occasionally write to me and ask what are the dimensions of such and such a pattern, and I don't really have dimensions. I just do however many sheets of paper it takes and scan them, each one of those sheets of paper at 300 dpi, so that they're enlarged, they won't distort. And I do tend to enlarge. All right, y'all, bear with me. I wish that heater would melt my face. I don't want to actually melt my face. I just want it to be a little warmer in here. My face doesn't need any more damage to look less than sexy. Alrighty then. Feel like I might want to get a little closer with the camera. What do y'all want? Do y'all like it the way it is? The reason why I ask people is because I want y'all to be okay with the view that you're seeing things. A lot of the times I pull the camera back so people can see a majority of the picture while it's being worked on. Some people want to see the cut being cut, but I think the way it is might work. If I could, once I get those T-nuts installed, I'll have better luck moving the camera more like close to where I'm sitting so y'all can at least see it from the same angle. Those roosters are going ape crap outside. followers. Once one gets started, they all want to compete. Thomas 8 says, hello everyone, getting greetings from Bavaria, Germany. Hello, Thomas? It's either Guten Morgen or Guten Tag. I don't know what time it is in Germany. I'm pretty sure they're ahead of us. If I recall, they're about 8 hours ahead of us, but I've slept since then, so I don't know. Okay, I will catch up on comments. He says Guten Abend. I don't know what Abend is. So 6, that might mean evening. So 6:17 p.m. in Germany. Time for me to get going, says Mac Pierce. I'll come back later and hopefully you'll still be streaming. Charles, have a great afternoon, everyone. You too, sir. Who's Your Mike says, howdy, Charles and everybody. Howdy do, Mr. Who's Your Mike. Okay, and I am saving these waste pieces just because that right there could break if it wanted to. I always say that, but I have all these waste pieces saved, and I haven't sanded or anything since these live streams end. I just put them off to the side and get going, but I need to get them all done so I can get them up on for sale on charlesdaringart.com, which is being built, but I don't have any content to put on it yet. That's for finished pieces. And that requires work, but I prefer play, so that's why none of them are on the site yet. So who's to blame? That would be me. Just saying. Oh, diddly. I'll be so glad when it starts getting warmer. Dag blabbit. I know y'all dealing with much colder temperatures than I am, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. It's not my fault. Just for giggles, since YouTube likes to hold me, I'm going to go ahead and check them right quick. Nope, not being held for review. That's awesome. Lost a subscriber, but worse problems to have. Lazy Charlie, my butt. That was a reference to me not getting the pieces ready for sale on the other website. That's what he's meaning. I need to just break down someday and do it, but I also need to break down and clean my shop. But neither one of those are getting done, just saying. And I wouldn't call it laziness. It's more picking more fun priorities. But they are priorities nonetheless. I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here, because I know you have a choice between this and root canal, and the fact that you chose me melts my heart. But we do have between 1700 and 1800 scroll saw patterns on woodenvisions.com, as well as instructional downloadable videos, caps, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and shirt. I already said shirts. There's some ebooks and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're looking to spend some money, by God, woodenvisions.com has everything you need except for the things you don't need. And probably some things you didn't know you needed. Because everybody needs a scroll-on t-shirt or cap or mug, just saying. Or Dag Blabbit, or I survived a Charles during live stream. You just never know what you're going to get. Yeah, you do, because I always tell you, as does Steve Nealon. We have 5 folks watching. Appreciate you. 12 degrees here in Indianapolis, says Hoosier Mike. Good Lord. I've had my fill of cold and wet. And it is Valentine's Day, you know, a day for lovers that was named after a slaughter during the mob days. Go figure. More of a Hallmark holiday. I don't know why they would name it after a slaughter done in the mob days. Go figure. But if you're alone on Valentine's Day, don't worry about it. There's worse problems to have. And again, it's more of a Hallmark holiday than anything. Doesn't mean you're less worthy than anybody else. Just means the right one hadn't found you. But if I recall, I believe yesterday, I could be wrong because I didn't count the hours, but I believe yesterday was Herb Hooper's, I want to say 13th anniversary or somewhere in there. Congratulations, Herb. Again, there's times I do occasionally surf Facebook, but usually I just use it to post, and I have a bad habit of not commenting on things I see, unless it's like a death or answering a question. But I did see that, and congratulations, Herb. It's always good to find a mate that can tolerate us. Oh, it was 19th? Wait, let me. Oh, what? Okay, then I was wrong. It's today, and it's number 19, not 13th. So forgive me, and congratulations either way. Harnell Media says it was named after St. Valentine. The mob slaughter just happened on that day later on. Oh, okay, then forgive me. So you learn something every day. get back on it. I feel like I need to be a little closer with the camera, because why not wrestle with the crane a little more? It might be a little more visually pleasing. And I'm very sorry once again, John. Now, some of the detail around these riders is also part of the detail in the barn. So if you see me doing weird shapes off of their shoulders or whatever, that's detail in the barn back behind it, which is what's about to happen here. And Steve Neal and I've been thinking, I mean, this is a stretch for people that have the money to spend, but I was considering doing a 15 patterns for 100 special. Now, not a lot of people can take advantage of that, but I consider doing 10 patterns for 100, but that's like $10 patterns, and that's almost what people are paying anyway. So I'm thinking 15 patterns for 100. If we can come up with either a promo code, and let me know if it's case sensitive, they can get 15 patterns of their choice for a total of $100. The only odds of people buying with that special is the money they'd be saving, because 15 patterns at $10 a piece would be 150, so that's a savings of 50. I don't know the math of 15 times 7 right this second. It's 105, I believe. But most of the patterns are $7 these days, so figured I'd throw that out there if you're listening, which I believe you are. Who's your Mike says, my wife and I just went through number 46 last month. Yikes. Oh, congratulations, Mike. And John, oh, man, tap full. Sorry, Lodge Puzzler. I think that's Lodge Puzzler. Appreciate you watching. And I may do a cheaper special for people for a certain amount for $50. I just got to do the math. And Steve Neal, and if you want to take care of that, which I know you will, let me know. Just let me know if the promo code is all caps or, case sensitive, blah, blah, blah. But I have to sit there and do the math to see a special for $50. Okay, we could do 4 patterns for $20, because even at $7, that would be $28. And if they were $10 a piece, that'd be $40. So you're saving half, or a little different if you get $7 patterns or $10 patterns. So we can do a special for 4 patterns. I don't know. I have to do the math because I can't think real well right now. I'd do it all on paper. Or it could be a certain percentage. I don't know. But giving people exact figures might attract them more. I don't know. That's why I was thinking along those lines. And I guess we can run the special for about a week. But I don't have the particulars on that yet, folks, if you're listening to this, because I'm, thinking out loud, and it's not set up yet. Won't take long to set up. I just got to figure it all out. And that is for scroll saw patterns, by the way, nothing else, and only for individual patterns, not ebooks and downloadable videos and caps and t-shirts and crap. Someday, if I get any money, I'll do a cap giveaway or a t-shirt giveaway. And to deal with a better number than 4, we could do 5 patterns for 25 instead of 4 for whatever. So as soon as I can sit down and do the math, we'll do a 5, 10, 20, whatever special. Hopefully it'll yield some sales here and there. Now, y'all may be thinking, why do you need money to do a giveaway on caps and t-shirts? Well, that's because I have to buy the caps and t-shirts. I don't get a special because I'm the one running them. I have to buy them just like y'all do. And y'all might be wondering why I don't do pattern specials more often. Believe it or not, it's because they haven't worked. Last time I ran a pattern special, I got 3 pattern sales, which is, I'm grateful for those, but, they don't always yield sales. Well, that and I am trying to make a living. Let me catch up here. I'll only read things that have to do with what we're talking about, because other things, not necessarily. Joe Nabe says, I think that's an awesome idea. And I'm not minimizing what you're going through, John. I'm just trying to keep what I read out loud on topic. That's not to minimize anything. Not saying you can't talk about anything. I'm starting to feel that heat. That's nice. That's nice. We love you, John. I know you know that. That's probably why you keep coming back besides my train wrecks. But we have fun with our train wrecks. I'm going to get rolling here in a second. Cold or hot, I still got to stretch my back every now and then. I'll post it on Facebook there, John, whenever the deal is nailed down. Now, I want to share it to all the scrolling groups when we get it nailed down, but I'm afraid of getting banned by Facebook for spamming. I still do it every now and then anyway, but I don't necessarily get banned from Facebook. I just get banned from posting to groups. But we'll try it as soon as we get the details there. And I appreciate it, John. I want to say John, Herb, and Mac are the best at sharing my stuff on Facebook, as well as Steve Nealon. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I posted to all the groups when we did the Australian charity pattern, but I don't want to say only. We got 4 patterns sold for that, but that's more than 0, so that's good. So $28 went to Australian charity. Although I think things are better for them now, but they still got a lot of rebuilding and rehab, so to speak, for people in wildlife. Amen, Herb. Yeah, I know I'm coming up on in April. Well, I'm not coming up on April, but my next anniversary will be 8 years. Feels like a lot longer than that, and I don't mean that in a funny way. You get into it with somebody for so long, you can't really picture being with anybody else. But yeah, I felt that way about my last girlfriend. Now I barely think of her because she was a word I can't use for family-friendly live feeds. We'll just say butt nugget, but we mean it a lot more harshly than it sounds. And why not break a blade just for good measure? Y'all take a drink. I wasn't even cutting in it, bro. Dag blabbit. If you think Dag Blabbit's funny, we have Dag Blabbit shirts and hats. Just saying. Ain't that funny? That's funny right there. And we're going to check the tension since we broke a blade. It could have changed the tension. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That pretty much didn't need to set anything. Hoosier Mike says, when ordering a pattern, is it sent by email or what? And Steve Nealon can answer this better than I can because I don't order my own patterns, but I believe your receipt and or email will get a link to download the pattern. But know that link will expire after 14 days, so don't dilly-dally when I think when you're done, your receipt will show the link and or the email will give you a link to it. I don't remember. John Nave says, oh yeah. Herb Pepper says, yeah, we've been friends for 40 years, but only married for 19. In reality, she should have been my first wife. Yep. Yeah, unless we're miserable, 9 times out of 10, the one we're with now is the one we should have been with all along. And it's funny because I found out that my wife was living in the same neighborhood as me way many years ago, but we didn't know each other. She was married. She's not anymore, or wasn't to when you know what I mean. Clearly she is now. If I'd have known where she lived, I could have stalked her much sooner. That's funny right there. That is a joke. I'm not a stalker. Not intentionally, anyway. I'm a pervert, but I'm a polite pervert. Harnell Media says, patterns are set for immediate download on the receipt and will also have a link sent on the email. Yeah, thank you, sir. See, if it wasn't for these live feeds, I probably wouldn't be scrolling right now because it's just uncomfortably cold, except for I got the heater now, but yeah. I just figure if I can stay where I'm comfortable, then blah, blah, blah. But here we are. It's tolerable. Excuse me. Even though these faces aren't real detailed, there are, on a lot of them, the mouth is showing, so you want to try to stay on the line for those. Because one line is usually where the lips come together, and the second line is usually the bottom of the bottom lip. Now, Logic says I should be using a smaller blade when I get to that part, but I don't use Logic, so I'm going to risk it. And if you go off the line, just be consistent going off to the next line. What I mean by that is make the gap between where the lips come together and the bottom lip be the same distance apart as they were drawn, even if you go off the line. And you don't necessarily have to even add the lips, but I do. because they weren't in shadow. And you're welcome, Mike. Although that might have been aimed at Steve Nealon. But we both thank you, and you're welcome. I was going to say we both thank you and welcome you, but yeah, you know what I meant. I can already feel myself crashing as far as being wide awake or not. We're going to try to tough it out. If not, pretty confident there'll be another live feed today. I say confident, I'm not guaranteeing it because I've said that in the past and didn't have a live feed. But for now, we're still here. All right, Steve Nealon. Message received. Now, I don't have notifications open for Facebook, so if anybody ever writes to me during the show, I won't be able to see it. In the past, on my old laptop, I could, but on this one, I don't because the notifications are too distracting. Bear with me, I gotta check crap. I done lost 2 subscribers. What y'all gonna do that for? And when I say I'm checking stuff, I'm not checking that. I just happen to notice that while I'm checking to see if I'm being held for review. Nope, we're still good. Yay. I'm going to take us a swig of Dr. Pepper and we'll get rolling again. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting these T-nuts in the crate, my little camera crane here, because it should allow me to confidently change ankles without worrying about the crane dropping on my shoulder or my head. Some good stuff right there. Dr. Pepper. It seems like I gain more subscribers if I take a break between live feeds instead of doing them daily, which go figure. Some people just don't want to see Charlie every day, just saying. That's lovely. I love it when a sharp blade breaks. Which means I probably had the tension too high. But that's alright, we have more. I already got that one, Charlie. Yes, I call myself Charlie because I have a name memorized. And I went off the line a little bit, but that's all right. And I can feel myself crashing harder, but I will try to do a few more cuts before we end this live stream. I know this is shorter than most. So I'm pretty confident we'll get another live stream in today. I'm going to go ahead and do one more big cut, and then we'll go ahead and end this one, but then we'll come back, most likely. And I apologize if this one is so short compared to most of them. It is if I can find the pilot hole. Which I cannot. There we go. The reason why I don't try to schedule these live feeds to just be like an hour and then stop is because, as you've seen with these detailed projects, an hour can take up a bunch of useless cuts. I mean, they're all useful for finishing the piece, but yeah. But if I had done all these live feeds only in an hour, we'd probably be way over 100 right now. By the next live feed, I hope to have the T-nuts installed in the crane, so that part will go smoother. And for me, at least, this is a lot shorter than most of my live streams. But the timing of me getting really tired usually dictates that. Not feeling bad, just tired. But being this early in the day, I should wake up at a decent hour, enough to do another live stream. I say should because sometimes life gets in the way too. we'll go ahead and end this live stream, and but we will be back. 90% sure that I'll be back today. But I appreciate everybody being here, and appreciate y'all's support. And feel free to share, subscribe, thumbs up, blah blah blah. Hit that bell, and you'll be notified. Scroll on.